So I keep forgetting that people get upset that I don't make the videos sideways. So whatever, we'll make this one sideways. So we had the first video on tuning the TRX yourself. And as we are tuning this TRX specifically, it's taking a little bit to obviously come up with the next video because we want to make sure that we don't do anything that we're going to regret telling you to do later. So that's what we're doing now. So I figured now, you know, part 2 should be more of a video like, hey, let's make a video about the TRX, talking about what I like about it, what I don't like about it, and where it needs work. Basically, you know, like a review, like I did with the old, or the 19 Hemi 5th gen when it first came out. So, the interior of the 5th gen truck is amazing. There's nothing that I disliked about the TRX interior-wise. Everything's nice. The gauge cluster's nice, the 12-inch stereo's nice. I wish the performance pages would load faster, but if I remember correctly, they were slow to load in my Durango, my 21 Durango, and my 16 Hellcat, so not a big deal there. Sport mode, the tranny needs a little bit of work in sport mode. It hangs in the gears a little too high for sport mode. You know, they might as well just call it race mode, because you would never, you could drive around town in sport mode, but if you're driving sub 50 miles an hour, you're gonna end up switching it to a different mode, because you're driving around at like 3,000 RPMs, because you need to go up to like 45, 50 to get it to shift to the next gear. So we'll be making, you know, a tranny tuning video explaining where each mode is and how to change them, things like that. The power's there. A little slow in my opinion. You know, I've had, my personal Hellcat was 800 horse. My last Camaro was 700. This last Cummins I had was between 700 and 900. It was a 900 horsepower build, but it was a manual truck, so it was never going to see that. You know, there was just not enough per gear to get the boost up high enough. Like, we could get 60 PSI, but really needed to get higher than that to hit that 900 horse mark. So driving a truck that's a factory 12.9 doesn't feel as fast as I thought it would feel. You know, with that being said, I'll put this to example. A 12.9 car is a Camaro ZL1. So that tells you how fast these trucks actually move. So just doing a little bit of tuning on them, night and day. The launch with some tuning on it literally feels like somebody walked up and punched you, because you take off so hard compared to launching it when it's stock. Now, don't get me wrong, launching it stock is nasty. The all-wheel drive launch in any decent horsepower vehicle is crazy. My 21 Durango, if you flat-footed from a dead stop, it put you back. It put you back hard, you know, and that's 360 horse. This is 702, so, you know, that's kind of a big thing on it. The damn thing rides smooth. It's quiet. I don't know if you can even hear anything. If you hear anything right now in this video, it's just wind noise. It's just like the Hemi trucks, regular Hemi trucks, has a little bit of issue in the wind. You can really feel when it's windy. And you can tell on the tack gauge when it's super windy, because it'll downshift into 7 significantly more often. And that by itself gets a little bit annoying, because you can feel it, and then you can hear it. You know, this has a stock factory exhaust on it, and it's louder than 90% of the stuff on the road. You know, when you get on it, it's loud. Obviously the cabin's decently quiet. It's not quiet enough. I'll end up doing what I did on my 21 Durango, which was we pull all the door cards and sorry, I keep putting my finger in front of the camera here. We pulled all the door cards and we dynamated the doors, which made the stereo sound significantly better, but helped eliminate a little bit of the noise from outside. And then we'll take out the rear seats and do the back of the cab, just to help with exhaust noise, because we do want to make the truck louder, but I do being able to drive 80 miles an hour down the freeway. Hold on. windy. There's definitely a headwind. The truck's driving perfectly straight. I'm doing 80 miles an hour and I'm getting 10, 11 miles per gallon. With that being said, it doesn't take much tuning to get some miles per gallon out of this. I think I was getting maybe 11 or 12 at 70 when I bought it. Now I'm getting 15 at 70. And we're going to keep tweaking and try to get the best we can. Technically, there's no reason based on what this vehicle has done to it that a guy can't push this TRX to 17 or 18 at 70 miles an hour. Anything faster than that, it's going to drop like an absolute rock. I mean, we have 355 gears and 35-inch tires. You could argue, like, yeah, those are some big heavy tires. And you're right, they are big heavy tires. We took a Ram, my Ram that I had on here, my Rocky Ridge that we did videos on, with 391, I think it was 391 rear gears, or 392, whatever Dodge has, 392, with 37s, and stock I couldn't get better than 12. I think we were able to get it to 17 or 18 at 70. That's with a 6-inch lift and 37s. Now, when we brought it back down, to a 33 and got rid of the lift, and we actually got less miles per gallon. Now, that is a lot of rolling resistance to get moving, but once you are rolling, that big tire, once it gets moving, it actually doesn't take a lot to keep it spinning because of the weight of the tire. And you're running lower RPMs. You know, we still had that 392 gear. We dropped down to a smaller tire. Now you're running higher RPMs. There's a lot of factors that go into play there. So in theory, one of these trucks with 37s on it might actually get better gas mileage because it would be running a lower RPM. Now what you run into in that is different wheel sizes and different tire sizes play into that as well, because sometimes tire weighs more than wheel, sometimes wheel weighs more than tire. You want the weight to be as far away from the center as possible to help keep it spinning, just like a flywheel, flex plate, whatever. So other than that, everything else seems to be really good with the truck. I bought it with the Tech 2 package, Customer 2, Series 2, you know, whatever it's called, and got everything with it. I have this huge roof that I don't use. I have the blind spot monitoring. I have the lane control. You know, it's not like a Toyota or something where you let go of the steering wheel and it'll keep you centered, unfortunately. It's got the carbon fiber on everything. It's got the nicer stereo. Overall, it's a super nice truck. Definitely worth the price tag if you don't think about the fact that you can buy a pretty nice Cummins truck for the same price. And I use mine as a truck. So it is the middle of winter. We don't have snow here, which is a little weird for this part of Wisconsin, but we are, I don't know if you can see the lines on the road, they must be expecting snow here soon because they're salting again. I'm driving up to Eagle River to pick up a motor for a car at the shop, so yes, I'll be putting an engine in the box of this, and it's, apparently they got a snowstorm there, so maybe I'll get to have some fun in the snow. We'll see. With that being said, the tuning so far has been going really well on it. I mean, you know, in regular driving, looks like I got long-term fuel trim 1 to 2 negative, and my short-term is also 1 to 2 negative. Now this is with the Neuro Network. Right now, for regular tuning for driving this thing, we will leave the Neuro Network on as we dial in the spark and the wide open throttle fueling. But we will, come on. Apparently it's, oh, I hit the wrong button, my bad. I just switched over from regular cruise to adaptive cruise. Now with that being said, this is a used TRX, so there is a few issues I've had with it already. One of them is one of the oxygen sensors is slow to react, so that wideband is going to need to get changed. And there is what sounds like some sort of a rattle or exhaust leak. So we're going to check for that first to see if that's causing the oxygen sensor to react poorly. But you know, we got 58,000 miles on it, so you know, something could be wrong on it. You know, or someone had a performance exhaust on it and they didn't tighten the bolts enough when they put the stock one back on. So needless to say, overall it's a great truck. You can see, like, look, my kids have been in it, I've been in it. I don't let my kids eat or anything in here. I don't eat or anything in it. I'm trying to keep it nice. You know, the nice thing about these Hellcat vehicles is that now that the production of the V8 has stopped, the value of these will never fall. Not saying this thing's gonna be worth $75,000 forever, but unlike the regular Ram, unlike the regular Charger, the regular Durango, things like that, where the values will eventually be $5,000 to $6,000, you will never be able to buy one of these trucks used market for $10,000 ever. The engine will always be worth $10,000 or more, and that's just how it's going to be. So if you are ever on the fence of buying a TRX, a Hellcat, any of those SRT powered vehicles, I would buy them now, because you're not going to be able to buy them eventually, and you're going to be really mad 20 years down the road when these are $200,000-$300,000 and you can't buy one. So definitely recommend buying one now. You know, don't use your kids' college fund for it, but it is what it is. The next video will be an actual tuning video where I will explain how to do certain things on the vehicle. So those of you who have been waiting for more TRX videos, they are coming. I just want to make sure that they're 100% perfect before you get any information on the TRX. With that being said, a Tazer is on the way, so we can make this rear-wheel drive. So we'll be able to test out if the gas mileage is the same when it's rear-wheel drive or all-wheel drive, and also we'll be able to get it on the dyno. So we'll get some dyno videos.